Digimon. Digital monsters. Digimon are the champions. Like, sometimes. They probably should have thought about the fact that champion is a classification in the dub. You know, now that I actually think about it, that line's only in the dub OP. Why would they even do that? They're not even champions most of the time. If you're gonna make it both a classification that wasn't in. Listen, if I'm being honest, I'm very autistic about a wide range of things, and I don't really have a lot of people to talk to about them. So I figured I might as well just put all my ideas down on something, and this is that. Here's hoping you enjoy. Oh, and I'm also going to be using the English names because I'm an American and that's how I first interact with them. If you have a problem with that, feel free to tell me about it in the comments. For those of you generally unaware of the concepts, Digimon is seen as kind of a Pokemon clone. That's not exactly correct. Anyone in the know would tell you that it's actually a Tamagotchi clone. It was made by Bandai Namco in June 1977 and was marketed as a boy's Tamagotchi, whatever that means. And while it never gained the critical success of other pet tamer games within the genre, it still has a cult following and still gets semi-regular updates to this day. As of recording, they're coming out with a new Digimon story game called Time Stranger, as well as a mobile app for the Digimon trading card game. I'm a huge fan of both, and I'm very excited to get my hands on them. Most Digimon related content tends to focus on a tamer, usually a small child, and their partner Digimon, both growing, both metaphorically and literally. And that's what I want to talk about today. Digimon have a tendency to form this symbiotic relationship with humans, wherein Digimon will listen to what that tamer says, help them grow emotionally, and protect them. And in return, they seem to feed off the emotions and energy this human provides, and get rad as hell, sexy, or both. This leads to a very interesting question. Why? Digimon don't need to do this. There are several Digimon that have made it pretty far without humans. Hell, in order to get a tamer in the first place, you have to initiate multiversal travel. All that just to help some 10-year-old mature seems like kind of a lot. Now, the quick answer is because they need a story to happen, but within the context of Digimon, some of them get this like inherent need to protect their tamer. Let's go over this and talk about several instances to try to make a generalization about the digital world. For the time being, I think I'm only going to talk about the Digimon anime in reference to this. Only because the Digimon games, while very interesting and having tons to say about the digital world, kind of muck up the idea of what a Digimon tamer relationship is supposed to be. For the sake of gameplay, more often than not, you have more than one Digimon, and they very rarely have real personalities of their own. I'm sure I'll cover them in another video. I still have tons of Digimon specific topics I'd love to talk about, but they're just not as useful for this one in particular. Okay, I think that's enough preamble. Let's get it started. We get our first look at the tamer-partner relationship with Digimon Adventure Run. Technically, you could say the same about the original Digimon short film. Super recommend if you haven't seen it. Really makes Digimon feel like Godzilla. But that's like the same kids and almost the same Digimon. Not important. What is important is that we get to see kids brought to the digital world, and their young Digimon immediately know exactly who they are. This will stay consistent for almost every Digimon series after, barring several exceptions, and we'll get to those, I guess. Now, Digimon are, of course, digital creations, meaning they come pre-made with several pieces of information. While it's not consistent for every version of Digimon, most imply that tamers are kinda predetermined. Why do these kids specifically get Digimon with pre-downloaded information about the kids? Who knows, but it implies that some Digimon are just made to have tamers, and that'll be important to remember later, I guess. These Digimon all seem to have personalities that contrast or complement their tamers. Tai, for instance, is really reckless and hard-headed, whereas Agumon is particularly cautious and worries for the safety of those around him. While Henry from Tamers, the season, not the concept, is a pacifist and a worrywart, so to complement that, his partner Terriermon is lackadaisical and hand-wavy, willing to fight just to see what happens. These personality clashes allow our heroes to see things from different perspectives and allow them to grow up in ways they probably would have been able to regularly with normal human interaction. But to be fair, the Digimon thing is way cooler. Oh, by the way, I should probably also mention a few things. Digimon exist in this weird two-layered multiverse. Every version of Digimon exists in a different universe from one another. Digimon Adventure 01 ends, and when it does, another universe splits off, which the events of Digimon 02 occur in, and unrelated, we get another universe in which the first two series were popular TV shows, and every kid wishes Digimon was real. Each show is a different universe, and in each universe, there's a parallel universe in which Digimon reside and connect to them. Does that sound overly complicated? Because it is. And while usually the case, not every tamer is a child. We get to see teenage tamers in Digimon Data Squad, the Digimon military unit anime, not to be confused with Digimon Seeker, the Digimon police unit novel, which I am straight up ignoring for the purposes of this video. And several adult tamers, like Yukio Oikawa from O2, Richard Sampson from Data Squad again, and Hokuto from Ghost Game, I guess. Honestly, I have no idea what's going on in Ghost Game. Why is his partner Terriermon assistant? It's just Terriermon with clothes. Digimon wear clothes all the time. I know it has something to do with Agumon Expert, but I have the same problem with them too, and it's just... Okay, I'm done ranting. The reason I'm mentioning any of this is because, to be transparent with you, the rules of Digimon tend to change based on which version you're looking at. And while I'm trying to paint a general picture of the digital world, there's a lot of conflicting evidence. I'll try to keep it as consistent as I can, but the rules don't always apply to every version of Digimon, so keep that in mind. In fact, feel free to comment anytime you think I'm wrong. I can always use the engagement. Now here's a fun topic. What did Digimon get out of this whole situation? Well, the simple answer is rad as hell. As humans interact more with their Digimon and become more rounded and robust as people, their Digimon have a tendency to digivolve because of it. Now, this is kind of an oversimplification. There's a lot of material that seems to imply they specifically need to have strong emotions about their Digimon to stimulate Digievolution, but that's certainly not always the case. Itmon from Tamers, again the season, not the concept, actually abandons his partners and still managed to digivolve through a deal he made with the Digisovereigns, another topic I'm fully ignoring for now. Honestly, I might get into how Digimon evolve in the wild in greater detail in another video, because there's a lot going on there. But as far as Digimon with Tamers are concerned, there's some level of consistency throughout all of the anime that seem to imply that Digimon require a little bit of dramatics and a lot of care in order to digivolve into their next forms. Now I know what you're thinking. JP, you're such a cute little guy and your crown is so shiny. Please stay focused, I promise I'm going somewhere with this video. I know I said I wasn't going to touch the games, but I am going to make a single exception. And that is going to be Digimon Survive. While Survive's gameplay is nothing too groundbreaking, its tactical RPG combat and visual novel storytelling are something new to the series, and it's that latter part that we're going to talk about for a quick sec, because Digimon Survive is a psychological horror. Now, while I won't be getting into all the specifics, there are tons of other amazing videos that get into that. I will be covering a few instances within the game, so spoilers ahead for this section. As the leader of your group, you will have to make several decisions. There are moral quandaries you can get the final say on, questions only you can ask, and intimate moments amongst party members you can miss. Not only do these choices affect the game ending you get, but it also affects which Digievolution your Digimon gets, whether or not your allies get to Digivolve at all, and even which characters survive. Get it? Digimon Survive. Roll credits. The game tracks the decisions you make, and in dire times of need, your Digimon will Digivolve in one of three ways. And these choices continue to matter as you move up the Digievolutionary line. This is already a perfect example of what I've been talking about. Your Digimon reacts to the stimuli you put out into the world, and Digivolves accordingly. But Survive does one more thing relevant to this conversation. Something we only see once in a few other seasons if we're lucky. Dark Digievolution. This is the process by which one's negative emotions take over and force a Digimon into a Digievolutionary route it was not meant to take. One twisted by ill intent to the point of becoming uncontrollable. This is nothing new for the Digimon series. In fact, the first time we saw it was with Tai's Skull Greymon back in '01. But it's more raw in Survive. In Tamers, for instance, this season, not the concept. Is this joke funny? Be real with me, y'all. Takato's Guilmon becomes Magidramon and rampages for a bit, perhaps causes some mental trauma, but it's otherwise dealt with in an episode or two and is never particularly relevant to the plot again. This is not the case in Survive. Remember, the entire story is a psychological horror. By the first time we see a Dark Digi evolution, another member of the party is already dead. Shuji, the oldest member of his group, racked with guilt around his inability to lead and the death of one of his party members, sees his partner, Lopmon, as a hindrance, one without power. And in trying to push Lopmon to its limits, berating and abusing it, Lopmon finally digivolves into Wendigomon, destroying their enemy, but swallowing Shuji whole in the process. That's not metaphorical either. He literally picks this young man up and eats him in one bite. It's horrifying. This isn't even the last time we see Dark Digi-Evolution and Survive. In fact, it's an integral part of the plot that I will not be spoiling here, I suppose. Go play Digimon Survive, by the way. It's one of my favorite Digimon games of recent memory, assuming Time Stranger isn't phenomenal. I super think it's worth its price if you want to look into the darker side of Digimon. That's probably all I've got for now. Digievolution is complex and symbolic and rife with struggle, but the relationship between partner and tamer could be easily simplified. By working together, you can make each other stronger, and I really think that's a beautiful thing. In our personal lives, relationships can seem very fickle and hard to maintain. Maybe there's something real to learn by viewing the partnership tamers have with their Digimon. And if we all took the time to truly care about each other and help each other grow in ways we probably couldn't have on our own, the world might be a better place. I think that's enough grandstanding for this video. I'm the Jelly Prince, and I hope you enjoyed my rambling. Bye.